My name is Nur binti Said. My metric number is 287207. Today, me and my partner will talk about one of the natural disaster, that is flood. In general, natural disaster can be defined as a sudden and terrible event in the nature that usually result in a serious damage and cause many deaths. The example of natural disaster are floods, earthquakes, typhoon, firestorm, tsunami, and other geologic process. Many countries are always affected by natural disaster, including Malaysia. In Malaysia, floods are a regular natural disaster that happen nearly every year, especially during the monsoon season. The east coast of Peninsular Malaysia is the most prone to flooding. This usually happens during the northeast monsoon season from October to March. Right now, Malaysia currently has to deal with the flood that have happened since 40 December 2021. A total of 210 places in the 6 states have been affected by floods. Many said they were left stranded in their home with barely any food for days before being rescued. There are a few causes of flooding, and different types of flood has different causes. The most common reason is heavy rainfall, and this has happened in the country these few days. When there is too much rain or it happened too fast, there just isn't a place for it to go. This can result in a flood like a flash flooding. Other than that, overflowing rivers are another cause of flood. You don't necessarily need heavy rains to experience river flooding. In addition, lack of vegetation can cause flooding. Vegetation can help slow runoff and prevent flooding. When there is a lack of vegetation, there is a little to stop water from running off and overflowing riverbed and streams. What we can do when we're facing the flood. Always be prepared to follow any plans you have made to deal with the flooding in your area, such as moving cars, pets, food, valuables, and important documents to safety. Putting flood protection equipment in place. Turning off gas, electricity, and water supplies if it's safe to do so. And lastly is evacuating your home. Like a family, Malaysians work together to assist flood victims. The empathy shown by Malaysians and the power of social media on those in dire needs of assistance result in various parties opening their doors and offering protection and aid. The next part will be continued by my partner.
I'm Fatin Amira binti Abu Bakar, Nometri 287785. Recently, many people were affected by the flood in Malaysia. Many houses, buildings, and roads were destroyed because of the flood. Many people had lost their home. All the flood victims were taken to temporary flood relief site. Many Malaysian people are trying their best to help all the flood victims. For example, they collect donations from all the social media, and many people have donated their money to help the flood victims. By using the money that they have collected, they have bought the necessity stuff for the flood victims. For example, the items such as food, beverage, clothes, baby diapers, and other necessities. Therefore, all the volunteers also work very hard to rescue all the flood victims who are still trapped inside their home. From this flood disaster, the government has made post-flood release mission. In 22 December 2021, the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture Malaysia, in collaboration with the Malaysian Tourism Council (MTC), have launched a post-flood relief mission around the state of Selangor and Kuala Lumpur. For a start, the program is targeting assistance to more than 200 families severely affected by the flood in Shah Alam. The program will be held in the series, and this relief mission will continue from the time to time until the situation returns to normal. All the volunteers, both from the government and non-government, have worked together in making this mission success. They have worked together to rescue flood victims during the floods, and after the flood have recovered, they also cooperate in cleaning the houses of the flood victims. They also clean up all the shop buildings that have been affected by the floods. A flood is a body of water that covers land which is normally dry. Floods are common natural disasters that can affect millions of people in the world. I'm here to talk about the impact of the flood. There are many impacts during the floods. The impact is the floods can kill people by carrying people away in fast-moving water or drowning them. It only takes 6 inches of water to wash a person away. Floods can also kill people by destroying buildings and creating unsafe environments. One often overlooked deadly effect of flooding comes from waterborne illness. Therefore, during the floods, economy also impacts. From the floods, many buildings such as shops and schools will be affected. With this, the items in the store will be destroyed. The shop owners will not only not be able to run their business, but they will also suffer a hard loss because of the flood. In addition, school students are also unable to go to school to study. Last but not least, flooding can also create lasting trauma for victims. The loss of the loved one or homes can take a steep emotional toll, especially on children. Displacement from one home and loss of livelihood can cause continuing stress and produce lasting psychological impacts.